Electric fire passes from atom to atom according to law, and fire by friction, response, being the latent fire of the atom, or its negative aspect. The process is carried on through the medium of solar fire, and herein lies the secret of transmutation and its most mysterious angle. Fire by friction, the negative electricity of substance, has been for some time the subject of the attention of exoteric science, and investigation of the nature of positive electricity has become possible through the discovery of radium. Keely, as H.P.B. hinted, 16,260 had gone far along this path, and knew even more than he gave out, and others have approached, or are approaching, the same objective. The next step ahead for science lies in this direction, and should concern the potential force of the atom itself, and its harnessing for the use of man. This will let loose upon Earth a stupendous amount of energy. Nevertheless, it is only when the third factor is comprehended, and science admits the agency of mental fire as embodied in certain groups of Davis, that the force of energy that is triple, and yet one in the three worlds, will become available for the helping of man. This lies as yet far ahead, and will only become possible towards the end of this round. And these potent forces will not be fully utilized, nor fully known till the middle of the next round. At that time, much energy will become available through the removal of all that obstructs. This is effected, in relation to man, at the judgment separation, but it will produce results in the other kingdoms of nature also. A portion of the animal kingdom will enter into a temporary obscuration, thus releasing energy for the use of the remaining percentage, and producing results such as are hinted at by the prophet of Israel 16,362 when he speaks of the wolf lying down with the lamb. His comment, "A little child shall lead them," is largely the esoteric enunciation of the fact that 3/5 of the human family will stand upon the path, a little child being the name applied to probationers and disciples. In the vegetable and mineral kingdoms a corresponding demonstration will ensue, but of such a nature as to be too obscure for our comprehension. The central factor of solar fire in the work of transmutation will come to be understood through the study of the fire devas, and elementals, who are fire, and who are, in themselves, essentially and through active magnetic radiation, the external heat or vibration which produces the force which plays upon the spheroidal wall of the atom. The response within the atom which produces radiation, or the escape of volatile essence. Speaking cosmically, and regarding the solar system as itself a cosmic atom, we would consider that the abstractions or entities who indwell the form are electric fire. The material substance which is enclosed within the ring pass, not viewing it as a homogeneous whole, is fire by friction. The fire devas from the cosmic mental plane, of whom Agni and Indra are the embodiment along with one whose name is not to be given, are the external agencies who carry on cosmic transmutation. This triple statement can be applied to a steam, a chain, or a globe also, remembering ever that in connection with man the fire which is his third aspect emanates from the systemic mental. We have dealt in broad and general manner with this question of electricity and have seen that fire essence, or substance is resolved through internal activity, and external heat in such a manner that the electric fire at the center of the atom is liberated, and seeks a new form. This is the aim of the transmutative process, and the fact that hitherto alchemists working in the mineral kingdom have failed to achieve their objective has been due to three things. First, inability to contact the central electric spark. This is due to ignorance of certain of the laws of electricity, and above all, ignorance of the set formula which covers the range of the electrical influence of that spark. Second, inability to create the necessary channel or path, along which the escaping life may travel into its new form. Many have succeeded in breaking the form so that the life has escaped, but they have not known how to harness or guide it, and all their labor has consequently been lost. Third, inability to control the fire elementals, who are the external fire, which affects that central spark through the medium of its environment. This inability is especially distinctive of the alchemists of the fifth root race, who have been practically incapable of this control, having lost the words, the formulas, and the sounds. This is the consequence of undue success in Atlantean days, when the alchemists of the time, through color and sound, so entirely controlled the elementals that they utilized them for their own selfish ends and along lines of endeavors outside their legitimate province. This knowledge of formulas and sounds can be comparatively easily acquired when man has developed the inner spiritual ear. When this is the case, the transmutative processes of the grosser kind, such as are involved in the manufacture of pure gold, will interest him not at all, and only those subtler forms of activity which are connected with the transference of life from graded form to form will occupy his attention. The following facts might also be pointed out. First, that every kingdom of nature has its note or tone, and the mantric sounds, which concern any transmutative process within that kingdom, will have that note as the key or base note. Second, that the note of the mineral kingdom is the basic note of substance itself, and it is largely the sounding of the note combinations, based on this key, which produces the great world cataclysms, wrought through volcanic action. Every volcano is sounding forth this note, and, for those who can see the sound and color, occultly understood, of a volcano are a truly marvelous thing. Every gradation of that note is to be found in the mineral kingdom, which is itself divided into three main kingdoms. A. The baser metals, such as lead and iron, with all allied minerals. B. The standard metals, such as gold and silver, which play such a vital part in the life of the race, and are the mineral manifestation of the second aspect. C. The crystals and precious stones, the first aspect as it works out in the mineral kingdom, the consummation of the work of the mineral devas, and the product of their untiring efforts. When scientists fully appreciate what it is which causes the difference between the sapphire and the ruby, they will have found out what constitutes one of the stages of the transmutative process, and this they cannot do until the fourth ether is controlled and its secret discovered. As time progresses, the transmutation, for instance, of coal into diamonds, of lead into silver, or of certain metals into gold, will hold no appeal for man, for it will be recognized that the outcome of such action would cause deterioration of the standard, and result in poverty instead of the acquirement of riches. Man will eventually come to the realization that in atomic energy, harnessed to his need, or in the inducing of increased radioactivity, lies for him the path to prosperity and riches. He will, therefore, concentrate his attention on this higher form of life transference, and A. Through knowledge of the devas, B. Through external pressure and vibration, C. Through internal stimulation, D. Through color applied in stimulation and vitalization, E. Through mantric sounds he will find the secret of atomic energy, latent in the mineral kingdom, and will bend that inconceivable power and force to the solution of the problems of existence. Only when atomic energy is better understood, and the nature of the fourth ether somewhat comprehended, shall we see that control of the air which lies inevitably ahead. Third, by the discovery of the note of the vegetable kingdom, by its conjunction with other of nature's notes, and by its due sounding forth in different keys and combinations, will come the possibility to produce marvelous results within that kingdom, and to stimulate the activities of those devas who work with flowers, fruits, trees and herbs. Every root race has its own particular style of vegetation, or certain basic forms and designs which can be traced in all countries where the race locates. These results are brought about by the interaction between the basic note of the vegetable kingdom itself, and the note of the race of men who are evolving simultaneously. The union of these two notes is that which produces distinctive vegetation, though it should be remembered that when the human note dominates too strongly it is apt to drive out the life of the forms of the second kingdom. The devas who work in this kingdom are a special group, and have a closer and more peculiar relation to it than have the builders or devas in any other kingdom. The transmutative process is effected more easily in the vegetable kingdom than in any other owing to this very factor, and also to the incentive given to the second kingdom and its evolutionary process by the coming of the Lords of the Flame from the second or Venus globe, preeminently the globe with which this kingdom has a mysterious connection. If I might express it in other words, the cosmic entity, who is the life of the second globe and its informing principle, has a close connection with the solar entity, who is the informing life of the entire vegetable kingdom. This analogy can be worked out in connection with the other kingdoms, globes and other forms and accounts somewhat for the fact that this fourth 164 final equipoise between spirit and matter. It is that point, in short, where in the reign of true matter, its grossest state, which is as unknown to science as its opposite pole homogeneous matter or substance, stops and comes to an end. From that point physical man begins to throw off, coat after coat, of his material molecules for the benefit, and subsequent formation or clothing of the animal kingdom, which in its turn, is passing it on to the vegetable, and the latter to the mineral kingdoms. Man having evoluted in the first round from the animal via the two other kingdoms, it stands to reason that in the present round he should appear before the animal world of this Manvantaric period. But see the secret doctrine for particulars. Lucifer, Vol. III, p. 253.63, 16,564 globe is above everything else the globe of human evolution in this scheme. It gives also the clue to the mystery of the presence of the great Kumara himself upon earth. These thoughts merit close attention. The note of the human kingdom, sounded in quadruple intensity on this globe, has produced portentous happenings, and I would suggest to all occult investigators the close study and scrutiny of the following manifestations in time and space. 1. The fourth creative hierarchy, the human. 2. The fourth scheme, our earth scheme. 3. The fourth chain, the earth chain. 4. The fourth globe, our planet. 5. The fourth kingdom, the human. 6. The fourth round, the first strictly human round. 7. The four Kumaras, embodiments of humanity. 8. The fourth plane, the Buddhic, the human goal. 9. The fourth ether, the physical correspondence of the Buddhic plane. One fundamental sound is responded to by all these varied factors. It is the note that is the cause of their existence and the basis of their being. This note, if sought for and found, will bring into close alliance all of these factors, till they are blended into a great occult unity. It will bring likewise into cooperation the band of devas who are the essences of the fourth human principle.